Something you hear brought up a lot in Valorant is something called counterstrafing. It's brought up a lot because this game came from Counter-Strike, and in Counter-Strike, counterstrafing would make you accurate a lot faster in the game. There's some amount of frames. I didn't play a ton of Counter-Strike, but I do play Valorant, and I can tell you that in Valorant, it doesn't actually make you accurate faster than if you just stop moving. So an example of counterstrafing is when I press the A key, I will reverse it and press the D key in response to make my shot accurate, because I will be accurate in that moment where I'm standing still. If it doesn't make sense, it doesn't really need to make sense. All you need to know is that when you switch directions, you'll be accurate. Notice how I mistimed it, so one of those bullets went up there to the left. But for the most part, when you do this, you just reverse your direction and you shoot, and you should be accurate. Now, we have a lot of videos on this. You've probably seen some of them already. So I'm going to try to tell you things that you maybe don't know. The thing that it will do is make you harder to hit. So a lot of the times people will be like, oh, well, counter-strafing, it doesn't make you accurate. It's not the point. They're like, there's no reason to do it. So I just release the key. I'll be accurate at the same speed. That's kind of the thing, right? But you'll notice how these shots are being fired off slower because it's taking me more time to move, right? So instead, the reason that counter-strafing can be so nice is because if you have these bots, I'm sorry, I just want these guys to appear. And if these bots are strafing, you'll notice how they are more difficult to hit. So let's turn on the bot strafe right here. And you notice how these bots are strafing. Hold on a second, my keyboard can be kind of annoying. Okay, you notice how these bots are strafing. If I try to shoot him, oh man, that guy moved. Like it was hard to hit him. And it's the same thing in like a normal game, right? Because if these bots are moving, or if the player is moving, they're going to be a lot more difficult to hit. Notice how this guy, I can track this guy all day, right? He's standing still. He's really easy for me to like keep my crosshair on his head because he's standing still. But then suddenly when the target's moving, it's like, oh wait, that guy was here just a second ago and now he's over there. Obviously, I don't need to explain how movement works for you, but this is why counter-strafing can be nice, because imagine you're this bot and it becomes a lot more difficult for me to hit you, right? These guys are moving. It makes it more difficult for me to hit them. You should be counter-strafing in combat pretty much whatever gun you're using, right? Now, there are times to spray and there's times to burst, but for the most part, if you're going to be taking like a longer range engagement or like a medium range engagement with a target, you don't want to take it standing still, because notice how these guys are moving and I'm not killing them right away. I'm not killing them because they're moving and it's hard for me to hit them, but I'm standing still and I'm going to be like this guy. So this is why you want to be moving all the time when you're fighting targets. I hope that illustrates it a little bit for you, and I'll show some ways that you can practice your counter-strafing in the next video.